Okay, here is my mock of escaping the belay. I have my fake setup here of my equalized anchor using a cordelet, and I'm clipped in with a locking beaner into the master point, and I have that going through the two hard points with a girth hitch into my harness. I have just sort of tied this off here with a what's it, slip knot, just to shorten the personal anchor system. My buddy down here is a backpack that I've just loaded with a couple of books, and he has not is too scared to continue, and so he's much further below though than this, but this is the best I can do for this mock situation. So the steps that I need to do are first. Let's see if I can set this up here. Okay, so the first step that I'm going to do is I'm going to tie off my hitch here. I'm going to go through, and then I'm going to pull this in and dress the knot with an overhand. Okay, good. Maybe I could have given myself just a little bit more, but that's my tied off. So now it's slipped a little bit, so I should have slid it in just a little bit more. But okay, nonetheless, we have them secure. I'm hands free. Okay, the next step then is that I need to transfer the weight onto the master point. And so first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to clip in this back part here on a munter. And I'm going to tie off a mule knot so that that's not going anywhere. Okay, let's give this one a little bit more now. And we will dress this again with an overhand. Okay. So this serves the purpose of backing up for right now, but we'll use this in a moment to release the weight onto the master point finally. Okay, so then the next step is I have a cordelet here. This one's about a 10-footer or so, and I'm going to tie a climb heist knot, or climb heist friction hitch onto the weighted rope. So I did 3 wraps. Go through this loop here. And it feels good. It feels like it has some weight. And now I'm going to use yet one more locking beaner. So that means that including the locking beaner from my ATC, which is belaying off of my harness, it seems that I need 4 locking beaners to do this safely, perhaps in addition to anything related to clipping the anchors. Okay, so now that I have this here, I'm going to use this other. You know what? And I just remembered I actually forgot, as I'm talking about things here, I forgot to lock this munter mule on that I had placed as the backup. So now it's locked. So all beaners are locked. Well, I have to tie this off as a munter. So now I'm tying off the cordelet as a munter. And I'm sorry if the video is not so easy to see. Here I'm tying off the cordelet as a munter. And oops, let's try again. Okay, there's my cordelette. Put this guy down here, and let's. There we go. Oops. Okay, got our cordelette here. Guess I'm a little camera shy. Alright, very good. Oop. Okay, I have my munter here, and I'm just going to pull in any of the slack here. So let me do it like, I'm going to lock it so I don't forget, and I'm going to pull through any slack so that it's tight. And finally, this is locked, and I'm going to tie this off. So here we go. Here's the loop. I'm going to bring this through. I'm going to pull it in, slack, and bring an extra little loop through, and finally tie it off with an overhand knot. Okay. Good. So here's my overhand knot tied off, and now I see that this is really biting here on the victim side of the rope, and at this point it's time to transfer the weight. And even though I didn't see everybody in YouTube videos do this, I think it might not be such a bad idea to actually go ahead and back this up just one more time, just with a clove hitch here. So I've got my clove here, and I'm going to use yet one more locking beaner. Of course, I might be running out of points at this point, but I think it's probably safe practice. Oops. So here I've got my clove hitch. Okay, that looks good. And locking the beaner. And that's just a backup, just in case anything should go wrong. Okay, finally, I'm going to, now that I've got this munter mule and it's backed up, I'm going to go ahead and release, and I have the tension is being held now by the master point with the cordelette. I am going to release slowly the mule, the mule knot that was tied on my ATC, and so as I let go of this here slowly, then I see that the weight is now completely on the friction hitch. Okay, now I'm releasing myself entirely from the system, so you could say at this point that I'm escaped the belay, because I'm just connected with my personal anchor at this point to the anchor. And now the last step here, because maybe it's not the safest thing in the world to just keep the friction hitch as the only thing that's holding this person down there, we'd like to connect them directly to the anchor. So what I'm going to do then is I need to undo the mule for the munter. I need to pull in the slack that goes to the victim side rope. So here we go, pulling in the slack. Okay, and I'm gonna like really crank on it here, and then at this point, then I will go ahead and tie off another mule. Now that that's tied off, here is my loop. I'm going to be a little bit more generous this time, and with the feeding out, and then finally I will do an overhand knot and slide that up. Let's see here. I need to maybe take out some of the slack, because otherwise that person will, when I release it, they will actually drift another couple of inches. So we would like to keep them from drifting any inches. So I will keep the knot nice and close. And I'd say that's probably good enough. Here's the munter mule tied. Okay, so this is going to be the point where this person is connected to. And now I can release the munter on the cordelette and ease off of that. And if I hold here, then I can see that as I ease off the load, that in fact all of the load is being caught by the rope itself, which is connected to the master. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the cordelette from the rope. I mean, I suppose that in a world of infinity cordelettes, you could just leave it there, but maybe I'm just imagining in this scenario that I don't know what's going to happen when I get down there, and I realize that I might be short on supplies and really need that cordelette, so I'm going to take it with me. I was just thinking I could like keep it there as a backup, but I don't think I need a backup. I think I feel confident in my in how it's set up right now. Okay, and just collecting this because I'm getting ready to do stuff here. I'm going to be going down to check out the victim. Okay, so I have this backup here. It's tied in a clove hitch. I suppose I can just remove this locking beaner for simplicity's sake. And so I have my personal anchor system. I have this, my victim is connected directly to the anchor. I still have a backup tied to this where the victim is, and I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave that, because in some severe situation where let's just say I don't even know what the situation would be, that the munter hitch, munter mule fails, well then at least I have this clove hitch, and if I want to be super, on top of things here, maybe I could even reduce the total amount of slack here, so that there's this nice clove hitch backup, that just protects just one more layer. Well, I'm just not going to pull it all the way through, but just now it's just got like 1 foot. So if there were to be some kind of catastrophic thing that happens, which again I don't even know what that is, basically this munter mule comes undone, then we have a backup with the clove hitch. So I think that's a good redundancy. And at this point, I'm still learning, and I'm not sure what the best procedures are. I can descend down the taut rope. I think if let's say that they had just started the climb, and that's most of the rope is down there, but I would say that if there is enough rope on this loose side here, it seems to me like it would make more sense, less moving of the victim, especially if they're injured, maybe some back or head injury. It would be better than to use the loose end of the rope if I'm sure that I can actually descend that rope using my ATC or a gree-gree. I now have this clove hitched in here. I could then at this point feed it into my ATC, rappel down, check out what's going on with the victim, make sure that I have enough cordelette to send back up the rope. So I think that's about it for right now. I'm just going to zoom in finally here on my system. This is my personal anchor. This is my backup clove hitch here. I realize the contrast may not be ideal here. And then this is my Munter mule, which is now holding the victim to the anchor directly to the master point. Thank you for watching.